And welcome back to the moment we have all been waiting for as Cossacks. We have the Cossacks KS B team versus the Prague Falcons in the CISA Middle School B team tournament finals. Maxwell Moody, are you getting goosebumps like I'm getting right now?
Absolutely right, Bo. This is the most anticipated match by your favorite commentators, myself, Bo, and Steph, who is currently walking up the stairs and will be joining us in just 1 second. Steph, how do you feel about the match we're just about to watch?
I'm very excited to see these girls play. I mean, KIS has shown some great effort, and I hope they continue to show that, and I hope they end up winning this game.
Yes, and watching the previous KISB team match, just a reminder, it was against KCA, and they actually lost it. Now, for their record, number 2 and 15, their star players, perhaps, or so to say, were off the field resting, but now they're back on, and we'll see how that works out.
I think that was a very good tactic there by Coach Burke. You know, if you got 2 star players and you have a meaningless group game in front of you, I think it is better to rest them. You know, sometimes the biggest thing in these CISA tournaments is fitness. You know, if you're tired and the legs are hurting, you're going to struggle to run up and down the pitch. So sometimes it's the team with the best legs that win the tournament. So smart move there from Coach Burke to rest his 2 star players before this highly anticipated final.
Now, I was down on the field filming just before this game, the Prague A team versus Warsaw Warriors A team, and it was an unexpected and unfortunate loss for the Falcons, 2-0 for the Warriors, and maybe that let down the Prague B team. I was standing right next to them on the sidelines, and they were quite sad, but I hope that doesn't affect their playing in this game, as this is a very important match to them, the finals in the B round tournament.
I think this will motivate them even more. You know, seeing their A team lose such a tough final. You know, it was 2 quick goals in the first half, and all of a sudden the A team, the heads went down, and Warsaw ended up winning the finals. But I think this B team will have seen that, and they know not to make a mistake, and hopefully they can go and win a first place trophy for their school, Prague. And now, of course, the game has begun. And a quick foul there from the Cossacks. It was a foul from the Cossack defenders, and Prague, have a good free kick and a good position here.
That's right, the game's just started. All the players are in the game for sure. Even the goalie is just in her ready position, ready for anything unexpected to come.
And the Cossacks here, they have a one-man wall, and the rest of them are somewhat like scattered along the goal line. And as the free kick was shot, and the Cossacks clear the ball. Now number 2 on her ball. This is her first few touches of the game. She's nifty. She's quick with her feet, isn't she? She just has the confidence that she can beat any defender. And here she goes again, dribbled past one, went for the second. The Cossacks here pressing the opposition, and now number 2 back with possession of the ball. This is where we wanted to see her, in positions like this, attacking the opposition.
Right, but now the Prague team just took it back, started advancing up the field, and KIS with the counterattack. Number 15, Alyssa, with a shot on goal, but the goalie catches it, and she kicks it out to the field. Steph, you've joined us again. Where were you?
I was just actually helping fellow KCA player who got injured. Very, very unfortunate injury. She did play her hardest and try her best, though. And that's the type of thing we see here, you know, with these girls. All of them showing their best efforts at everything they do.
And now Prague with the ball, looking to come on the counterattack. And one of the good things I noticed about this KSB team is they have a nicely organized defense. You know, the A team I talked about earlier in a past game, I talked about how their defense was sometimes unorganized, and that often led to the goals that the other team scored, was because the defenders were in positions that they should not have been. But this B team is has been proved to be quite solid defensively, and they've only conceded 2 goals all tournament, and one of them, of course, was that one goal against KCA that, at the end of the day, didn't matter. They were resting players, and it was what you can call a friendly, basically, at the end of the day.
KIS player number 2 just ran up the sideline. The ball got too far ahead of her, and now she's got a corner kick as she looks down the field. Her players get in position. Number 15, number 7, the ball bounced right off her. The goalie kicking it out into the field, and the players spread back out to their normal positions.
I have to say I've been quite impressed with the goalkeeping in this tournament. They've been really good. They've been really good and solid, you know. And I would say every single goalkeeper at this tournament has not been afraid, and you know that is one of the most important traits of being a goalkeeper. And right there, as you saw, the Kozak shot on the Prague goal, the goalie was not afraid at all, and she saved the potential goal. And now the Kozaks with a throw-in. It's been a back-and-forth game so far. I would say neither side has been supremely dominant, but the Kozaks have had a few shots on goal.
That's right. This match, the previous rounds definitely matched them well. Prague has just scored their first goal as the team rushes the field to the successful attacker, giving a group hug, and there's the score, 1-0 currently at about 5 minutes in.
And the Kozaks, they've got to keep their heads up here. You know, that was it's tough to concede a goal early in the finals like this, and oftentimes as a player it can be very demoralizing when the other team scores a quick goal on you. But you know what? I've watched this B team all tournament long, and I know they're not the ones to put their heads down and give up. You know, they've made it this far. They just got to keep fighting, and the goals will come. The goals will come. But Prague again on the attack. Oh, could they get 2? And a good save from the Kozaks keeper, you know.
KAS at this point, they've just got to keep on going. I mean, Prague is a strong team, despite this being their B team. They are a strong team. Their defense and offense are both, you know, intact, and they are really going for it with the offense. But so are we with our number 2 and number 15. Number 2 right now. Ooh.
Some wonderful dynamic between the players 2 and 7. Some passing to get past the defense, and here number 15 almost took possession of the ball. Prague currently has possession.
And what I see a lot of these Kozaks players, a lot of walking back. You know, it's clear. I think the legs are tired after the amount of games they've played. I'm not quite sure, but I think they've played a total of 6 games this tournament already. So this will be their 7th game, and you know, 7 games in 2 days is quite a lot for such a young body. But they've got to keep going. They've got to push through this. They're in the finals. They're not going to get many chances like this again.
Truly, I think you're right. I mean, 7 games. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the high school boys, how many games do they play? They play less. Am I right?
Yeah, they play a total of 6 games in 3 days. So it is significantly less, you know. And I'm sure out there their legs are hurting right now. But and number 2 has gone down here with an injury. That could be a defining moment. That could be a defining moment in this finals. Having coached her, having watched her play, I know she's a fighter, and if the injury is a minor one, she'll continue.
This could be costly for the Kozaks. Prague showing some superb sportsmanship, taking a knee for the injured player. Now, number 2 stays on the field, it seems, which is important.
That is a very strong move from her, continuing playing after an injury. And I mean, number 2, as we have said multiple times, is one of the key players in this game. And is it a substitution? No, she continues. She is really a warrior. I mean, a Kozak.
A Kozak warrior. I don't think there's any other way of putting that. And here she is on the ball. Good header here. And honestly, I would have to say, having watched this B team tournament for the past 2 days, I don't think there's a more worthy tournament MVP than number 2, at least in the B team tournament. She has been, I think she scored 5 goals in total. She's been fantastic for this Kozaks team, and she deserves all the recognition and praise that we have given her throughout these 2 days.
And I really love that bit of number 2 is obviously still a little bit hurt after her trauma, and a fellow player from the Falcons team helped her up and showed some great sportsmanship, and they have all been doing that throughout the game. And that is really, really worth a lot of respect, in my opinion.
A Prague corner kick was unsuccessful. The goalie kicks it out, and number 2 on the ball, quick on her feet, to the sideline. Can she pass the defense? She does. 1, 2, a shot on goal, and it just hits the post. Unexpected, makes number 15 fall, but she's quick back on her feet, and it'll be a goalie's ball.
And as hard as it is to make runs like that down the wing skillfully, it also is tough on the legs when you're doing so much sprinting. To go from sprinting to walking, that is tough on the legs, and it was a brilliant move, and that was as close as the Kozaks have been all game, and I sense a goal coming. Prague do lead the game 1-0, but I think the Kozaks can get back into this one.
Prague advancing quick on the field on the Kozaks. They take a shot on goal, and it goes through the keeper's legs. The team rushes the field to congratulate their attacker for the second goal this game. It is 2-0 for the Falcons. The goalie's looking a little distraught.
And that's a tough blow for the Kozaks. Down 2-0 against the Falcons. I think so far this tournament they've played the Falcons already 2 times. They won the first game and drew the second game, and now they're losing 2-0 in the first half. Now it's not over yet. Football is a game of 2 halves, but this is it's a tough blow for the Kozaks in the final. Now it's a real test of their spirit and their character in this finals. The ball booted forward, and Prague back in possession with the ball. Goalie puts it down on the spot. Now number 15 quickly on the ball. The ball bounces up, and number 2 gets the ball. She threw on goal. I noticed the thing is the Prague team, they know who they're up against. Every time number 2 gets the ball, they're surrounding her with as many defenders as possible. And Prague break through on goal. The Kozaks defenders try and recover, and the keeper gets a good save from the keeper there.
Very, very good courage from the keeper. The Prague attacker was there ahead of the entire defense. It was a one-on-one situation with the goalie, and the goalie was there, just stood and grabbed the ball correctly. Now the ball is on the offensive half for the Kozaks. Number 2 takes possession of the ball, tries to pass defense, and she does. Will she get a shot on goal?
Looks like the defender is really, really up against number 2 here, and
I think also being an 11-year-old, for so many of these players, they're 11 years old, and this is their actual first time in a CISA middle school girls tournament, and they don't know how to quite deal with it physically and mentally, A lot of the times you notice a lot of the girls are running around during breaks when really the most important thing you should be doing is resting up, drinking a lot of water and resting up instead of wasting a lot of useful energy that is needed in games like this.
And I would like to agree with you there, but apart from the physical fatigue, this is also a lot of emotional stress for these young girls. First time being here on a CISA, and there's a lot of pressure on this team, and they are so young and so capable, and I think we all are hoping to see them continue showing their strength of character and to hopefully score a goal.
And now back to the action. The ball cleared by the Cossacks, and it's a Prague throwing it at about the halfway line. And it's a double substitution here from Prague, as looks like 2 fresh new players enter the game.
That's another advantage for the Falcons. They've got just more numbers than the Cossack B team. A bigger school, I guess, more people.
They've got 2 full teams, whereas the Cossacks have a B team, but they have 2 substitutes, whereas the Prague team have, I think, a total of 4 substitutes. Now the Cossacks through on goal. Good by number 7. Good dribbling there by number 7. She loses the ball, and the Prague defenders, they are making it their mission right now to stop this Cossack attack. They've seen the amount of goals this team has scored. The most goals scored by any team all tournament is this Cossacks B team, and this Prague team is doing an excellent job defending against them, yet to concede.
Now we've mentioned who our delegate for MVP might be, but MIP, I'd say number 7 certainly has shown tremendous growth during the past 2 days. In the first day, no goals, but quite a few assists, and today she's had many shots on goal. Now the ball is on the offensive side for Prague as they look for a shot on goal.
We'd like to remind you that on the other half we have the competition for 3rd place between KCA and the Bucharest Vampires, and it looks like we have another injury. Perhaps that is from KCA. They have been having some bad luck at this tournament.
Yes, they've been quite unfortunate with injuries, and now back to the finals. Prague with the ball. Ooh, a nice acrobatic kick there. And Kozak goalie with the ball. She drops it on the spot. And the Cossacks now looking for the goal kick.
Now that's a relief. The clapping that you hear, the clapping that comes from the other half that just broke the piercing and silence, that's relieving. I hope that the girl who went down is okay. Now, that's half-time called by the... Oh, no. It's an injury on our half.
And it is a halftime, and then that means it is time for our halftime show here in the finals. There's been injuries on both sides of the pitch, and you know, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Sorry, we're just going to wait for our cameras to focus on us for the halftime show. All right, and here we are for the halftime show, and I think a perfect way to sum it up is the 2 injuries at the end of both halves. You know, we mentioned earlier in the commentary, 7 games these girls have played in the span of 2 days. 7 games is an incredible amount of running, of kilometers covered, and that's showing in the amount of injuries there are. And hopefully there is nothing too damaging and nothing too lasting.
Lots of pressure on the field today, as they are the final matches and semifinals today. The girls are definitely playing more rough. I can tell lots of growth, and well, they are tired as well from the 7 games that they've been playing. But I hope that sincerely all the girls will come out in one piece.
And that is really with the injuries. I mean, I would like to agree with both. The injuries we are seeing here on both the sides of the field, that is really because of the exhaustion. Because when you are playing so many games in 2 days, at this point you are so tired that it's impossible to avoid these mistakes that cause injuries. And hopefully, the team players that are injured will be fine, and we will avoid more injuries in the future.
And now back to the scoreline. Prague do lead the Cossacks 2-0 in the finals, and then of course in the 3rd place match is 0-0 between Bucharest and KCA. And I'd really say the Cossacks had their chances. They hit the post. They had a few shots on goal, whereas I think Prague, they had maybe 2 shots on goal and converted both of them. So although the score is 2-0 to the Falcons, they're winning the finals. Yes, the Cossacks aren't out of this one. You know. The second half, they're going to come out. They're going to have to play a little harder. There was a lot of walking back from the Cossacks. Of course, probably a factor of fatigue. But they're going to, if they want this, and I believe they want this, they're going to have to work hard, and I believe it will come.
I'd like to just say one thing, and I'm sure Steph would agree with me here. KIS just needs to keep shooting their shots, right? Because they have very strong attackers, and it's just a matter of shots before they start getting those goals in and getting the numbers up.
And right now, it looks like the game is starting back up again. And, I mean, the most important thing right now for this halftime was for the coaches to really encourage these girls to, you know, especially for the KAS team, even though they are right now, they are not winning right now. It is important for the coaches to encourage them to just keep on going and push and you know, play at their best rate despite how tired and fatigued they are.
All right, and now the ball starts. The Cossacks start with the ball for the second half of this, the last game of this tournament. It's crazy to think about that this is the last game of this middle school tournament. We've been here since Friday morning, and to think now it's all coming to an end, it's definitely a sad feeling. Now the Cossacks start off very positively. They got a throw-in the opposition's half. Good throw into number 2 there. Can she control the ball? She does. She pulls it back. And a good, tough block by the Prague defenders. They're just swarming the Cossacks' attack. They're always outnumbering them. Makes it easier to defend. And number 2 against with the ball. It's a mess in there, and the goalie collects the ball.
The Prague defense is really on this one today. I mean, they are defending at their most. They are really out there.
And it's now an indirect free kick, I think, from the Cossacks. I believe it is indirect. I believe. Yes, it's a free kick, an indirect free kick, which means the Cossacks cannot shoot until the ball has been touched. I'm not quite sure how much knowledge these girls have on an indirect free kick. And also, I don't think the Prague team knows either because they're not lining up for a wall. Yes, now they are lining up for the wall. All of them have to line up for the wall. Yes, there's a certain distance they have to be away from the goal. Now, this is not a penalty. I hope number 2 knows she cannot shoot directly, and unless it touches a player and goes in, the goal will not count. She passes the ball. And that was not a great shot there from number 15. We've seen a lot of power in her shots early in the tournament, and it's just not working for her at this moment. Number 2 again with the ball. She's a warrior out there. Knocked down, gets back up. And a shot by number 15 in Prague ball. It's a good start to the half for the Cossacks.
Right, that was quite impressive that all the girls got into their proper formations and to pass the ball to 15 instead of taking a shot. That was quite impressive play there. Just unfortunate it did not reach the back of the net. Now number 15 looking to pass a defender, passes to number 2. It gets kicked off the side, and it will be a throw-in for the Cossacks.
And I'm looking at the Cossack defenders right now, and they've got nothing to do because the Cossacks are putting so much pressure on that Prague defense. They've just earned themselves a corner here. And I think a goal's coming. If a goal comes, that's going to put tremendous amount of pressure on that Prague team, you know? To be 2-0 up is one thing, but when it's a 1-goal difference, it's a whole different ballgame. One shot can change the entire game.
They are, as we said before, they are really going at it with their defense. I mean, these girls are on number 7, number 15, and number 2. They're watching them.
Now Prague is advancing the field, pushing up, and as they pass the ball up, it was nearly intercepted by number 13. There's a shot on goal potentially, but no, it goes out, and it will be a goalie's ball.
And another injury here for the Cossacks as one of their defenders lands awkwardly. Everyone is kneeling. It's tough. 7 games. It is tough. There is no doubt about that, and you can see with the amount of injuries here. And let's just hope for the best that she's able to walk this one off.
There will be a substitution. 13 goes off. Number 12 comes on. Another factor of whether a team can win or not is just whether their players can make it to the final rounds, and that is perhaps why the coach took off number 2 and 15 to spare them their energy and muscles for this round, which was a smart move. But will it serve them victory? We'll find out in this half.
I mean, I think as we can see here, even having not played one game, I guess it did not make much difference for these girls, because I think at this point you are so tired, both physically and emotionally, and it just must be very draining to be playing all these games all in just 2 days. Such pressure, but such courage from all of the players here today.
And now the Prague winger attacking the Cossacks and cleared by number 15, who's really taken on a defensive role here in the second half. And now number 2 with the ball. Every time she gets the ball, excitement rushes through the Cossack fan base. She is a magician out there, but the Prague defense is they're not making it easy at all for her. And the Prague defender is making a great run down the wing. She's beaten almost 3 players now. She cuts inside. That will be a wonder goal if she scores it. And a good clearance by number 15. And the Cossacks helping her up. But they have to look up because Prague is relentlessly attacking. They're going a shot on goal now. Goal kick for the Cossacks. The goalie with the ball. They've got to go a little bit quicker. I know they're tired, but this is it. This is the last half they will play at this CISA tournament. And they've got to speed this. Little things like goal kicks, like throw-ins, like even injuries. You got to try and speed those things up.
What's absolutely magnificent about that number, player 15, is that she runs and plays on both sides of the field, at the defense when they need her, at the offense when they need her. Like right now, that defense really needs to be solid as Prague advances, looks for an opening. They take a wild shot or a pass, but the goalie, it stumbles, and it will be a corner kick for Prague.
And number 15 has really taken up a different role in the second half. She's playing a lot more defensive, and at some point it helps because she just blocked a big shot there that could have made the game 3-0. But at some point the Cossacks have to put a few more people forward. They need goals now, not to concede goals. So this is a big time for Coach Burke and his decision making, and for the middle school KIS girls B team. And now a goal kick for the Cossacks.
It's very important, as you said before. I mean, they are obviously tired, but they have just got to keep going. Like, we can see now that the games are going at a bit of a slower pace because the girls are, at this point, they are tired, and having conceded 2 goals, it must feel, like not worth it. But they have just got to keep on trying.
Number 2 on the ball, moving up the sideline quickly, looking for a pass, but it will be a corner kick because the Prague defense just kicked it out. Now, as the team moves up, number 2 on the ball at the corner. Will this be a potential goal? We'll find out. 2 kicks the ball, and it moves right into the golden zone. Number 15 on the ball. She shoots. And the Prague goalie effortlessly takes it. But number 2 on the ball shoots. Oh, no. What an amazing opportunity. She grabbed that opportunity and she took it. How unfortunate that it just did not slip into the goal.
And great footballing knowledge there from number 2 shown as well. The goalie, once the goalie has picked up the ball, she cannot put it back down on the spot. And I've noticed in this tournament, every single team's goalie, as soon as they catch the ball, they go and put it down on the spot. Now, if you're an attacking player, anyone can attack and take the ball from you. So I don't know why people haven't been taking advantage of that. And number 2 there, clearly good football smarts. She used that, took the ball, and was unlucky to hit the post.
Maybe she's had some good coaching there.
Yeah, right. Very impressive. Very impressive. I wonder who coached her.
Well, thank you guys for bringing that up. I want to remind our audience that when she was 10 years old, she had a wonderful high school secondary 3 by... it was actually me, to be honest. I coached her, but...
I was referring to Coach Burke, but yes, that too. That was probably very important for her football knowledge.
Now back to the action. Number 7 has just thrown in the ball, and number 2... whoa. being aggressive with a defender to take the ball. And she passes to number 15 with a shot on goal. And it was a bit off. And it'll be a goalie kick for Prague. As the Prague team gets back into formation and the goalie puts down the ball for a goalie kick. It goes and onto the offensive half, but number 7 takes possession of the ball, goes up the sideline, she passes a defender who kicks it into the zone that number 2 was standing and guarding, and it will be a corner kick.
Interesting decision making there from Prague, but I guess they're better safe than sorry, they say. Now Kozaks with a free kick, and this is where I want to see the game sped up a bit. She's got to run to the ball in the corner. She's got to cross that as quickly as possible. Every little second counts in finals like these.
Here, I mean, it's just important for them to, as you said, be fast, despite the pressure and the fatigue. They have just got to keep going.
A very near miss, a shot on goal. Looks like the goalie incorrectly passed the ball to her teammate by throwing it. You need to kick it when it's on the ground. And now it's on the offensive half, but number 12 strong on the ball to take it. It goes off the side, and it'll be a throw-in for Prague. She looks for a good person to throw to. Number 2 running back into the defense to be there to block number 7 of the Prague team, who was looking for an open shot on goal. And the Cossacks just were not in the offense when the ball was booted onto that half.
And as the time ticks, I think more and more it's looking like this game is not going to bounce in the Cossacks' favor. Once again, you have football is a game of margins, and you know the Cossacks have hit the post twice. Prague have had about a few shots on goal, and both of them and 2 of them have gone in the back of the net. So again, if this was another day, the score could be the complete opposite.
That is correct. And just to update you on the KCA and Bucharest Vampires game, the score is 0-0 with both teams going strong despite the injuries that they have suffered, especially on KCA's side with their goalkeeper and other players.
Now, as a final game, if it does tie up at full time, will it go into penalty shootouts or extra time? Do you know?
It will be penalty shootouts straight away. There are no extra times in CISA. Back to the action. The Prague defender, she has done her best job possible, and I think that's probably been her best game all tournament long, locking up number 2, who is a outstanding player. But she's that Prague defender has held her own today, and now Prague on the counterattack, cleared by the Cossacks. Prague ball on the throw-in. This is going to be so unfortunate if the Cossacks lose this one.
I believe on the other side, on KCA's side, the goalie has been substituted by KCA after the injury, and it is now another player who I believe was not a goalie initially.
Right, back to the action. Number 7 for Prague just had a little opportunity for a goal shot, but the KS goalie snagged it right in front of her feet, which is very courageous. KIS B team goalie is actually a very spectacular goalie, making very nice saves. And number 15 just intercepted a pass that would have been a potential danger for them as they struggle to attain possession of the ball. Number 14 blocks the ball, blocks the shot, and it will be a goalie kick.
And now the Cossacks have got to be rushing these sort of things up. I mean, off the top of my head, I would say there's maybe less than a minute or 2 minutes left on the game. These halves go by super quickly in finals like these, and the Cossacks don't have much time left. And unfortunately, it looks like they're going to come away with second place in this game. Good clearance there from number 15, but Prague keeping possession where they want possession to be. Oh, and the other game, it is a indirect free kick for KCA. And now number 2 with the ball. Can she pull something out late for the Cossacks? Prague have 4 defenders back. It is a 4-on-2, and she's tackled. She wins the ball back, and unfortunately, a heavy touch out of bounds.
Now, number 2, despite being shorter than many of the other players and younger, she is extremely fast and can just pass lots of defense most of the time. Now, number 2 gains possession of the ball and starts running. She passes to number 7, but it gets kicked up in the air. Number 7 gains possession of the ball, looking to pass to number 2. Number 12, number 15. It goes up to the offensive half for KIS. They need to gain possession of the ball and just shoot a shot and see if they can make it. Now number 15 looking to get the ball. An update on the other half of the field. KCA has just scored their indirect free kick.
And the ref has blown the final whistle here in the finals. The game finishes 2-0 to Prague, and that is quite unfortunate. The KCA game has finished 1-0 to KCA. The Bucharest Vampires have lost that one. But wow, the Cossacks B team, what a tournament it has been. What a tournament it has been, and how unfortunate it had to end this way.
Truly, I mean, these girls have shown spectacular sportsmanship, spectacular talent, and all of them really do deserve the appreciation and the support from the fans, their families, any viewers out there. I think they have done an amazing job. What are your thoughts on this, guys?
All of the girls have tried really hard and deserve all the goals they've ever scored and all the happiness they've received from this tournament. And as it closes down to an end, there is certainly a level of melancholic joy that fills the air as the sun starts to set and everything goes dark. But, you know, for winners and losers alike, I'm sure that this tournament has been a big learning experience for sport, for friendship, and all good things like that.
Those were some Harvard-worthy, yes, Harvard-level words, you know, from Maxwell Moody, once again, Harvard class of 2023.
And of course, I think we can sit here and we can talk about the Cossacks B teams, but in the end of the day, we have to give the respect earned from the Prague B team, and not just the Prague B team, but overall Prague as a entire team. Second place in the A-team tournament, first place in the B team tournament, and definitely, I think, best school performance overall. It's been a tough watch. The Cossack B team has done so well throughout this tournament, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
So, finally, to sum up the tournament in the A-team league, the winners are the Warsaw Warriors. Second place are the Prague Falcons. Third place are the Moscow Penguins, and fourth place are I'm not quite sure. Just those three. And then for the B team league, first place is Prague Falcons, second place KS Cossacks, and third place KCA.
With the Vampires coming just behind the KCA. And on that note, we would like to wrap up our live streams, and we would also like to thank you all for watching, specifically for watching us three, your favorite commentators. We would also like to thank Mr. Hume for organizing all of this, Yusuf and Kalina for helping us do the live streams, as well as the amazing Dynamo facility and everyone, crew, coaches, all the other teams who have provided support and help. And for me personally, it has been a pleasure commentating.
And so for one final time, it's goodbye from me,
Max,
and Steph. Follow me on Instagram at s.